Hello and welcome to episode 114 of the Automation Station here with the PeakBot team. Dylan, Ben, Thomas, happy Friday. How we feeling, gentlemen? Loaded question. Ben, you first.
Oh, I'm down. I'm down this week. Flu A.
Flu A's
Listen,
got Ben.
anybody. I'm normally a guy that believes you could work through a lot of sickness, but anybody that comes to me and says they got flu A, this is almost as bad as the first time I had COVID.
Really? Dude, don't say that.
Yeah, no, I've been down for the count for sure.
I only had light versions of COVID. I never had like that real sick COVID, which I'm so grateful for.
Okay, gotcha.
It's crazy to think that COVID happened basically 5 years ago. This month. It's crazy to think.
Ben and I were on our way to Italy together, actually. We were on a trip to Italy. We brought it back. I brought it specifically. I think I brought it to and fro Europe.
I thought I was just having an extended spring break.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't in college during all that. I have to say that would have sucked. Not that, anyway. Got a great show for us today, for you all today. PeakBot picks. We're going to take a look at how we did last week. Going to take a look at the picks that we're making this week. We will do some SPY analysis, some economic events. We will talk about some new strategies, how they've been operating, maybe even some of our partner bots and some successes we're having there, and some things on the horizon. So stay tuned. A lot to come. Trader Trivia. And I hope, Trader Trivia. Ben's been down for the count.
No, it's there. Right. Our VA did it, so we're good.
All right, cool. So shout out. You know who you are.
Yeah.
So we'll get through that today, and some hands-free trades. If you guys have any Iron Condors active, I personally do not. I got a King Condor active, but I don't have the Iron Condor noon entry ready to rock. But I do have some trend spread trades, which we should see throughout the hour from PeakBot picks, as will you guys. So let's get started. Let's get into it. Hey, Doug, happy Friday. Be working the next couple of weeks, so this may be a last one for a while. Well, we're going to make it count then, Doug. We're going to make it count. Good to see you. If you have any thoughts on how much you hate Thomas's picks in a little bit, please feel free to let us know.
You only hate the winners.
So it's 11:58. Ben, do you have any Condors going or no?
I do.
All right.
I do. I got XSP. Let me pull up my screen here.
Condors are scary right now. I don't know if I like a Condor.
Hey, Ben's playing a model portfolio. All right. You have a small percentage. Going to keep it on.
Listen, I've got one Condor on, Thomas.
Oh, you're good. You're right. I don't know. I just feel like there's a whole lot of political talk. It's scary world out there.
So I've got quite a few trades on right now. We've got my XSP Condors from yesterday. Going to be a loser there. Don't like being a loser. I've got my premium grab strategy, which has been doing me really well. Not doing so hot today with the market falling out. What are we at now? We're down 1.5%, a little over 1.5%. Big fallout this morning. That pesky Michigan sentiment report. It's doing us dirty.
Did it get us again? I haven't even.
Yeah, that was today. The market's down.
Oh,
wasn't Core PC out today too, or no?
I'm
mistaken.
Let's go to the calendar.
I thought Core PC came out today too.
That was pre-market. Yeah, so we were down pre-market, but that was 8:30 this morning.
Mm-hmm. What did that come out? Oh, 0.3. So it came out expected.
Yeah. The sentiment report, the 5-year inflation expectations came out 0.2% higher than expected. All of these numbers were slightly off from expected, and as we can see, there was a corresponding
big reaction.
Yeah, big reaction in the market. So I think we just missed my Condor entry while we were looking at that. Yeah.
That's all right. Let's take a closer look at it.
Yeah.
52?
To Doug's point, though, the high IV means your Condor strike may be wide. The question is, did the market over or underprice the move? Yes, agreed. They will be wide, but what I've found, and it looks like this is a $12 wide condor, sold the 566 call, sold the 554 put, $12 wide condor. I don't hate it. I do like that. The problem with these volatile markets is you just never know if that's enough. I'd rather a tighter condor and call it the VIX under 17, right? Yeah. That's much more condor friendly territory for me. The strikes being wider apart definitely is a plus. However, as we can see, like a day like today, where we're down 90 points on SPX, I don't think a wider condor would have helped. But
all right,
anyways, points on SPX is way too big of a move for any condor. I think that wouldn't even be 5 delta. 5 deltas are only usually like 60 points out of the money. So a 2 delta condor to maybe get a
no 5 deltas if you're doing 1 DTE.
I forgot 1 DTE.
I'm just gonna go to Weeble real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. We're gonna look at Monday's actually expiration. So the 5 delta. Need some more strikes here.
I'm mistaken. A 5 delta condor we're looking at.
This is gonna quickly not be worth it.
Yeah, it's not. You can't even get anything out there.
No, I mean like my screen's freezing.
Oh. Take them down.
Out of there. Okay, let's keep it moving then.
Let's get some trader trivia. I want to learn something.
We're almost there. The 5 delta on a 1 DTE would be now I went too far. Oh no. Thomas, do you have it on your screen?
No, I don't. I don't have a broker pulled up right now.
All right. It would be roughly the 5,400 strike, which is $200 away. That's not bad.
What's the premium payout? Just take the put and double it.
All right. So the 5 delta on the put side, we would probably go with this strike 54.15, and you can get about $2.30 in credit for that. If you were to do a $5 spread, though, you're getting like 10 cents.
Oh, okay. That's not terrible.
That's why we don't trade that strategy, Thomas.
What? You said $2 credit, $213.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a 10 wide 5.
On a 5 wide spread, yeah, we got to move on.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's get a change of music here.
Yes.
I mean,
all right.
Dylan,
can you give the whole intro to trader trivia? Because I'm not feeling
Ben, was that a $1.20 credit on IWM?
We'll go back to it.
Okay, we'll go back to it.
All right, trader trivia. So let's get this up on the screen and let's get focused here. Opportunity for you to win 3 free months of PeakBot's automated trading strategies, access to the wheel, Iron Condor, Trend Spread, Iron Condor Zero when it's back on, at least for a little bit. And you can always upgrade to Pro for some new strategies that come out. But anyway, 3 months free of PeakBot. Text us to 973-888-1166. This is for new subscribers only. The question is, which of the following is a key characteristic of an options contract? Is it A, it gives you ownership of the underlying stock? B, it allows you to buy or sell the underlying stock at a set price before a certain date? C, it guarantees a profit if the stock goes up? Or D, it automatically expires after 1 year. So again, the question, which of the following is a key characteristic of an options contract? Text it. I'm going to get the number up on screen again.
Right there to the right.
973-888-1166. Okay. Chance to win your free standard quarterly subscription to PeakBot for 3 months. Let's get the music bumping here. Now we're moving.
I'm curious what the did you know was. The past, where did
Ben's probably just blowing his nose.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Been in business with Ben long enough to know that if he's on camera, he's ill and he's blowing his nose or coughing.
Yep.
So Ben, why don't we hit the people with a did you know while we're waiting?
All right, another great did you know today. When I saw this one come across my desk, I was like, this is a winner here.
Let's hear it.
So did you know, in the world of poker, blue chips held the highest value, and in the stock market, we refer to these high value companies as blue chip stocks. And those are referring to well-established companies with historical reliability, stability, so on and so forth. So in the 1920s, that term was used to describe top-tier companies, and you'll hear us reference companies like Apple, Microsoft, Coca-Cola as blue chip stocks today. So if you ever wondered where that term of blue chip stock came from, it's because back in the 1920s, blue chips held the highest value in the world of poker, and that made its way over to trading stocks.
That's a very good one. I'm seeing if it's still, I'm wondering if it's universal still, the blue being, Ben, when we play poker, what's the highest value chip?
Black is.
I think we got to make a switch just, because of the world we live in. And, I think we need to make an adapt. Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. All right. So yeah, blue chip. If you're talking about a blue chip stock, I love the ending here. No, you're talking about the market's biggest hitters. It's true. All right. Let's hit the question.
All right, here we go.
The answer is B. It allows you to buy or sell the underlying stock at a set price before a certain date. I'm reading the explanation word for word. An options contract is a financial agreement that allows you to buy or sell an underlying asset like a stock at a predetermined price called the strike price before a specific expiration date. It's a flexible tool for traders to speculate on a stock price move on a stock. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, you get the point. And if you answered B, you earn 3 free months of PeakBot's standard subscription, and congratulations. So good trader trivia, good did you know, and I'm going to make it a requirement that the next poker game has blue chips as the most expensive value. I don't care how confused everybody's going to get.
It will confuse people.
By the way, you're looking at 3 losers from the last poker night.
It's unfortunate.
All 3 of us losers. All right. So what do we say we get into some PeakBot picks? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Wait.
Go ahead.
Ben, that is a $1.20 credit on IWM. How did you get that?
I adjusted down. So the
Is it not a condor?
No, the original. Yeah, it's not a condor. This is
that's
so
right.
The original premium grab entry got me in today. I bought shares at 204.35. I got a 60-cent credit, sold a 205 strike. However, as price started to decrease, I wanted to minimize my loss, so I wound up closing the 205 strike, as we could see here by the close, and you can see it lost pretty much all of its value. And then I opened the 201 strike, so unfortunately going to be losing on this today, but damage control here, right? So I picked up a $1.20 in credit there. So the math is I've got a $1.20 in credit there. I've got 60 cents in credit. That's a $1.80 in credit there. I'm probably gonna, if we finish above 201, that's a $3.35 loss minus the $1.80. That is going to be $240 loss, 200 something like that. My brain's not working correctly right now, but it sure beats any other loss that I would get from this. So I might adjust down one more time today once this strike loses all of its value. I was able to sell it for $1.28. It's currently at 43 cents. If that gets down to like 10 cents or something, I'll probably close that out and then sell the next strike down just to try to collect some more premium and again, minimize damage.
Excellent.
Overall, the port is up this week, thanks to the King Condor.
Totally.
The King Condor went 2 for 4 this week, although I don't hate that because the wins on King Condor are bigger than the losers on King Condor. Which is different from all of our other strategies where the losers seem to be bigger than the winners. I won a total of $700 this week on King Condor. I lost a total of $450. So I net $250 this week on King Condor. Loving that bot. The King Condor will not trade today. Too much movement in the VIX. So there will be no over the weekend position, which I don't hate, especially on a Friday like we're seeing today. There was tariff talk this week. Who knows what's going to happen over this weekend? I'm kind of thinking it might even be smart just to never play the weekend for the time being, at least, not until VIX calms down.
Yeah, another 10% jump today in the VIX is not healthy for any iron condor.
And Ben, on your King Condor, did it closed out the put side? Still got the call side open today?
Yes. So we closed out the put side at a $6 debit. As we can see, that was good because that spread is trading at close to its max loss, which would be $10. So yeah, good stop out earlier. Happy about it. And yes, the call side is still in. I'm gonna let that expire. And I'm not going to close it because, and I could close it for 5 cents right now if I wanted to, right? So if I go here and here, close position, it's trading at 0 cents. But if I put the ask in at 5 cents, that would close immediately. But I'm not going to do that because there's also fees associated with trading SPX. So the damage isn't just giving back $5. In reality, be giving back like $7.50. And if you do that time after time after time, it adds up, right? Do that 10 times, that's $75. So I'm just going to let it expire worthless. I don't think there's going to be a huge reversal to where
we're far off of it, right? 755 is the strike. It's trading at what's it at?
We're at 5,600 right now. So price would have to reverse. Price would have to reverse $150 in the remaining 3.5 hours of the market.
Yep. So, all right, very cool. Well done. I'm expecting we can get into PeakBot picks. I'm expecting my trend spread contracts to roll here soon. At least the ones I have smart exiting should be getting out soon. New ones should be coming in soon. I don't know if you guys have seen any action. I have not yet. Nothing of worry just yet. Oh, see you, Ben. God bless you. God bless you. So anyway, let's get into PeakBot picks. I'm going to pull up the tracker. We're going to look at my positions, and we're going to get into it. All right. So, Thomas, before we go, because I'm just making my sheet look very pretty. Okay, we're ready. Never mind. All right. So, PeakBot picks, for those of you who are not familiar, each of us, myself, Thomas, and Ben, we each select 3 trades every week that we're going to actually take in our PeakBot portfolio, fully automated and traded here with Tradier. So let's take a closer look at how I did last week. And I may actually ask you guys, not for any financial advice, but maybe just for some eyeballs on a position and what to do right now. So let's pull this up. Oh, I got to take Ben's screen off and then pull mine up. All right. So PeakBot picks. We're looking at week 6 here. Okay. and then we're going to go around the horn, look how people did how we did last week, and then get into this week's picks. So last week, we're talking these three right here. I had 2 put credit spreads and a call credit spread. J&J, already a winner. I was trying to stay above 160 for $19 in premium. It took profit yesterday, and I took home 14 of the $19. All right. These 2 positions, my put spread, my bullish put spread on TLT, and my bearish call spread on Zoom are actually still open. I wanted to take a look at this with you guys. First of all, Zoom, I'm just going to let expire here. I was trying to stay under 78. We are very much in the clear. So it looks like I'm going to take home the full $28 premium here. So looking good for 2 for 3. Now here's TLT right now. All right. I'm in. All right. So this is a little delayed. So I'd have to pull up the chart, but we're flirting with it right now. $90 is my sold strike with $1.50 wide at 88.50. Let's just take a look again. So I earned, there was $14 in premium at the open. Right now, if we look at this, this is a $8 gain right now. I can take it. What do you guys think? I mean, I can pull up the chart TLT to get some
I would roll
live.
the dice.
Meaning let it go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if you expire out of the money, you get that whole premium.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was the strike price again, Dylan?
I think it's right at 90. Let me look again. Yeah, 90. Above 90. So here's TLT. Here's the last few bars.
No, when stocks go down, treasuries tend to go up.
Yeah.
So do you think the market's going to go up to end the day? Or do you think it's going to go down?
I have no idea about the end of the day. I think over the next week we're going to bounce back a little bit after I was looking at some stuff earlier, but I have no idea. I'm thinking I'll just let it. I think I'll just let it go. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. This would make me 3 for 3 on the week. It's the only reason why I'm thinking about getting out right now. I'd love to go 3 for 3, but I'd be cutting probably 40% of my profit off. So we'll see. All right, so that is me last week. 1 for 1 on a trend spread, early take profit on J&J, fully automated. Love that. TLT still open. Zoom is certainly going to be a win, but I actually had it typed in here. If we look at the edit history, I actually assumed I flipped this to a W, guys.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done
It's
that.
like when you play poker and you touch the chips in the pot.
Yeah, can't do it. So, but I figured I'd be transparent.
One thing I have been doing for trend spread is if my spread is so far out of the money, I'm not gonna let PeakBot close it for me. I'm just gonna let it expire.
Okay.
Just to collect that full.
Yeah.
premium.
All right. So since ZM hasn't gone through yet, what you're saying is I'm so far out, I can just go ahead and remove this and let it do its thing.
Yep.
Hey, I think I like that. Not financial advice. We're just friends helping friends here. All right, cool. Good idea. So that's me. Pending 2 for 3, pending 3 for 3. We'll see. Who's up?
I can go.
Oh, okay.
Let me go before I have to blow my nose again.
You're sounding like you're pretty much there.
Yeah, it sounds almost there.
All right. Oh, geez. Let's turn the music
here we go.
on him.
Then let me know if you want me
so
to go.
I had JD, I had VXX, and I had XPEV. Now, JD did close out earlier this week for a profit. I will pull that up here. So JD,
$28?
Yeah, just about $28 after all the fees and stuff.
And that was 32 of 32, I think. Sorry, I'll shut up.
It could have been. Yeah, it was close. It closed out. What was that? Yesterday. Yeah, so it would have been an 80% gain.
Nice.
Hold on one second.
No, seriously, everybody hold.
What?
Even the music held.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything stopped. Everything just stopped on Ben's.
We're
camera.
gonna
And
have
by the way,
to.
go ahead.
We're gonna have to change the music to match my pace right now.
Okay.
So JD won.
All right.
I've got VXX, which was looking like a loser all week until this morning, where this just popped up. So, like I said, I'm turning the trend spread off because it's so far out of the money, and I just don't believe that this is going to retrace all the way back.
Nice.
And then I'm just going to collect the full premium. Interesting comment by Doug. He always closes so they don't blow up against him. Yes, I agree with that if it's not on the day of expiration.
Yeah.
But if it's like what I'm looking at here, I'm just gonna let that expire and take home the full gain. So I'm gonna make 47 minus 10. I'm gonna make $37 on that. Now, XPEV was out of the money until today, so unfortunately that did turn into a loser.
Damn.
I am between strikes right now, so I'm going to let myself get assigned.
Oh, okay.
And I'm making that a trend for myself, I think, to where I am gonna let myself get assigned on positions that I think are moving in the direction that I anticipate. And actually, you can see on XOM, which was last week's play, I let myself get assigned negative shares.
Oh.
So I'm kind of reverse wheeling this.
Whoa,
So
dude.
I got assigned negative shares. So instead of selling a covered call, I sold call it a covered put, if you will.
Okay.
So I sold a put against it, collected 69 cents at the 116 strike. Now XOM is at 117.57. So those shares will not get, those negative shares will not get called away. They'll not get.
What did you get assigned at? I know it doesn't really. I don't know.
113.
Okay.
Right. So I've got some ground to make up, but I like that I collected 70 cents this week. And cool. I like that I'm still going to have the negative shares going into next week, because I still think that ultimately XOM is going to get pushed down a little bit. I don't know that I'll get out at 113 again, but I'm going to watch this. And on actually, I might even sell another put today, close to the end of the day, just to collect some more premium.
I want to just say that this XPEV position is going to, I'm going to just show you quickly, or Ben, you can, actually, I'll pull it up. It's going to end a reign. You haven't lost a PeakBot picks trade since in over a month.
No, I lost XOM last week. And
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, didn't mean to expose you like that. I was trying to give you a compliment. You know, you thought you were just on a heater here still. Okay. Apologies.
All good. But yeah, so those are my open positions. That's how I'm playing them on trend spread. If I'm between strikes, and I'm trying to factor that into my picks as well. Like if I'm picking something, I'm thinking, would I mind owning this or shorting this the way that this price has been moving?
Yeah.
And it looks like my trend spread positions just went in.
Me too.
So that's for this week. So we're not on this week yet, but we'll get there. So those are my picks for last week. I am going to go 2 for 3, and I'm going to let XPEV get assigned, and then hopefully can turn that into a win. I've got about, based on where this is at now, I've got probably, I'm going to make $21 in premium this week. I'm about $1 down. I have about 80 cents to make up. So I think over the next couple of weeks, we could turn that into a win.
Okay. Very cool. Well done. I love the man and machine aspect there, right? Yes, I had trades just go through my TLT that we were flirting with. It rolled. I took a 6-cent debit, so I made $8 on that. Call it 60% of the initial premium collected. So I am 2 for 3 there. I have a I canceled the Zoom spread, so we're gonna let that rock. So all right, let's get into this week's picks then. Oh no, Thomas.
I'm in. You still almost skipped over me.
I didn't though. Let's go.
I got 3 picks to shove. My screen's up. Everything's ready.
All right.
So I'm gonna go with the unfortunate loser first in Pepsi. Sold the 149 strike price. Entered it right here this Friday. Unfortunately, we just jumped up. So I was looking here. Turns out Pepsi made an acquisition, which caused the stock to jump from 145 all the way up to $150. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get profit taken. The stock only dropped about $2. It wasn't enough for me to get any sort of profit out. So unfortunately, it did turn into a loser, which I'm not sure. Maybe I forgot to recap the account. But Pepsi did drop. Now I'm in a losing position. So it is up at 150, sold 149. So I'm down at $1.86 or 186 bucks. But on this play, I collected $35 in premium. So I'm only down about 150. Now my next 2 positions are winners, which is fantastic. And you'll see a sneak peek into next week's picks. So I'm still staying here with gold. Still going to stay strong with gold. I think I've explained this in the previous weeks. Gold is a great hedge against, these types of market conditions that we are in. Gold, silver, any sort of precious metals, which is why I'm staying bullish on gold here. So that week I sold a put PeakBot sold a put for me at 275. Now you can see it gapped up here. Now we did pull back. My reasoning was it kind of consolidated here, and when we entered, it was right around here. So I like this level of support. And now we're seeing the same thing. PeakBot's going to sell a 280 put for me to collect $62 in premium on a put credit spread to sell 280 by 274. So I'm entering into a similar position I was just in, except $5 higher. And I still think gold has a lot of room to grow. A lot of analysts see that gold is going to be increasing over the next few weeks. There goes Ben's coughing. At least he's off camera. He's off camera. You don't have to worry about it. Just got the mic over there. So gold, I think it's going to keep exploding. Same thing with silver. Not financial advice, but if you have the cash for wheeling gold, definitely something to consider, maybe look at in the long run. Now, the next pick that I have and is winner is Dollar General. Sold the $80 put. It is now at $85, and doing so, I collected $44 in premium. Set to expire today. Actually, no, it exited on Wednesday for 70% of what I had earned, so that was great as well. So collected majority of my premium there, got out. Fortunately, it still would have finished well out of the money, but better to take profit than leave losses on the table there. But going to be entering gold again, so we'll go over that in a minute.
Okay. All right, so then as it stands, what's the overall? Are we looking 2 for 3?
2 for 3.
Okay, with some time left, but we'll take it. Overall, was between the 3, was it a net gain or a net loss?
Slight loss. I think it'll be a loss of about $20.
Okay. All right, very cool. Very
Hey,
cool. Well done.
Before we move on, let's have some friends help friends here make a decision. How about that? I've got a question for you guys. So, let's get Thomas off here. So for XOM, I've collected a total of $1.32 in premium so far. Okay. Now I was assigned my negative shares at 113 and currently trading at 117.40. So I'm looking at the strikes for next week, and there's a bunch of different options. Now remember, I've got $1.32 in premium earned so far. So if we adjust my cost basis, that means really my shares were assigned closer to 114.32, right? Excuse me. So there's a couple options. I could go for the 117 strike, collect a lot of premium, hedge myself against further moves against me, but I will be taking a loss if we finish below 117. So the 132 plus the $1.20-ish that I'd be making here, that would be about $2 and call it $2.50. I would lose 400 on the shares, but I made 250 on premium, so my loss would be $1.50, right? Or I could go for the 116 strike, collect about 80 cents in premium, so that would put my total premium collected of in total at about $2.10 ish, and I would lose 300 on the shares. So my total loss would only be 90 cents at that point. And then, of course, as we keep going up, the number gets smaller and smaller, but there has to be a further move in my direction, right? Or I could just go for the 113, go for break even on the shares, and then an overall win if I get, and I'll get 24 cents in premium there. What are you guys thinking? And Thomas, I know you've been trading XOM, so what are your thoughts?
I just pulled up XOM on a chart. I'm looking at it now. I would personally sell the 115.
The 115?
I like 115.
So selling the 115, I can collect 57 cents in premium, add that onto my $1.32, call it 58 cents for flat math. So I'll be up to about $1.90 in premium. I would lose 200 on the shares, so net loss would be 10 cents. That's not bad.
No.
I'm going to do that, Thomas.
And that I think is your best.
I just want to say I agree.
There we go. And it's that easy, folks. All right,
so
let's get into this week's picks.
Okay, this week's picks.
Yeah, now I'm rooting for XOM to drop below 115.
All right, so let's talk about it. Ben, get that screen off of there. We're going to go back around the horn here. All right. So these filled. I filled lower premium than I wanted to on two of them and a higher premium on the other. But I got all of the strikes that I wanted, which is more important to me than anything else. I got the strikes and the trend right. So, and I'll likely, since I only made $8 on this, $6 on this, I'll likely either scale that up afterward here manually or figure out something if I like it throughout the week. But I am, for week 7, entered today, and we'll look at the real positions in just a second, expiring next Friday, the 4th. I am, again, 2 put credit spreads and 1 call credit spread, okay? So I am bullish on Verizon over 44, bullish on IEF over 94, and bearish on Chipotle under 54. So let's take a quick look here. Just some quick numbers. Cash out, I'm risking 400 minus $34 in premium earned. All right, so let's look at the charts. Again, Verizon over 44. So here's the Verizon chart. We're looking at the dailies here. This vertical blue line represents the expiration of next Friday, 4/4. Analyst ratings on this are good. When I took a look at the technicals for the next week, I think this is kind of what sold me. Only 1 sell signal, 15 buy, 10 neutral. I've traded Verizon a lot over the last, we'll call it year and a half, between the wheel and on trend spread. I like the tight dollar spreads. We're a bit bullish here. I feel decent about the market going into next week. I'm curious to know what the beta is on Verizon. That's somewhere.
Go up,
Up.
Keep going. Yep, click down there. Yep.
Okay. All right. So a 0.27 beta. So, look, I like it over 44. Obviously, there was some crazy action back here. I think there was some news as well about how Verizon is seeing resilience against the tariffs, not really seeing too much of a financial impact. So that news helped a little bit, it seems. But yeah, Over 44, I like it. We were under it here for just a while. We just broke above what seemed to be maybe a bit of a resistance. So bullish on Verizon. When we take a look at IEF, which is an ETF, 7 to 10 year treasury bond, okay, we're trying to stay above 94. I think we're looking at the daily here. Yeah. So if we zoom in, we have not traded under 94 going back in over a month. February 24th, we had a huge gap up here from, call it 93.50 up to about 94.30, and we've been above that $94 price point ever since. So we had a nice, obviously, jump here today. So we'll see if we can keep it up, but I do feel very good. We can see a little bit of a support forming here, maybe right around like this 94.20 price point. So I feel good with IEF over 94 by the end of next week. Again, not too much premium collected there. I'll probably double up on this or take a couple other strikes, not sure. And then bearish on CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Again, looking at the dailies here, trying to stay under 52. So we can see last time we were trading above 52 was back on March 6th. We've been overall bearish since December here. And we take a look at the technicals, I believe on the week this was, so not as strong of a sell, but still still pretty bearish here, which I like. When I was looking at this, it seems like, I don't know, I feel pretty good about this. How many trading days under? Over 10 trading days since we've been over that 52 mark. So those are my three. I'll tell you guys, my approach to these PeakBot picks recently is I'm going to the watch list. I'm going lowest budget in this market. If I'm trading trend spread, I want to limit my exposure completely. I have $400 worth of cash out here, between three spreads. So I do that. I find a small spread, and then I come here and I look at these daily charts, and I want to see time. Now, I think my Verizon example didn't necessarily hit that, but I want to see time spent above or below our strike price. CMG and IEF are a good example here with the daily bars of a lot of days here consecutively over my strike. That's just where I've been going recently at a very high level. That's just some basis of what I'm looking for. Anyway, those are my picks for the week.
Awesome. Cool. I will go over mine next, but first we got a question here. Will the King Condor be running next week with April 2nd approaching? I'm down $600 today so far. Wasn't expecting that much movement yet. Unfortunately, yesterday into today was pretty bad. So you probably stopped out at about a $6 credit. However, that you got to remember that's not your total loss because you did earn a credit opening that trade. I forget what the credit was. On the put side, I think it was like $1.20. Plus, you've got your credit from the call side also negating that the overall effect of that loss. So I think a total of $350 in credit was collected on King Condor yesterday. So with the $600 debit today, you do the $600 minus the $350. It's about a $250 loss that you'll be seeing. The King Condor, like we mentioned before, is 2 for 4 this week. Both wins collected a total of $350, so $700 in total wins, about $450 in total losses. So we net out about $250 per contract this week. The King Condor will not be entering a trade today. There's too much movement in the VIX today to be opening a trade. And but as long as the VIX keeps calm, next week we will be trading it. But the bot does have conditions in it that watches VIX, watches volatility, and if VIX is too high or there's too much movement in it, then the bot will not trade. So can't say for sure that it'll be running all of next week. I'm sure for a day or two it probably will be off, but there's no economic events shutting it off next week. Okay, all right. So my positions, I got into, and I'm completely bearish this week. I got HP, I got Carnival Cruise, and then I got gold. Now gold, I I've got a bullish position, but it's bullish because gold is usually a hedge against the market. So I'm going to start with gold over here. And this line here is my strike price. I sold actually, let me confirm. I did. All of these are dollar spreads, by the way. I wanted to save as much of my capital for King Condor and for Premium Grab. Those are the two strategies that I'm really basing my portfolio off of right now. Trend spread will be nice because I'm collecting 14, 12, 9, so just under $40 in premium for $300 worth of risk. That's about a 10% ROI, and any damage done shouldn't be bad. And with my new philosophy of let's turn these losers into winners, I'm pretty confident that things are going to go all right.
Love it.
So anyways, for gold here, we need to stay above $19. And the reason that I liked this is since really December, we've been trending up. So even if we do get a pullback and I do get assigned shares, the gold would have to drop below $18, which could happen, sure. But there hasn't been that big of a drop in a week in quite a while. So if I get assigned shares, I think we're going to just continue this trend unless the market completely reverses. I feel good about gold. I am collecting $14 in premium there. If we look at Carnival, ticker CCL, I sold the $21 strike for 12 cents total on the spread. That's right where this line is. And again, since about the end of January, there's been a longer term downtrend here. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for these longer term trends. I don't want to fight the trend. The trend is your friend.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. I don't want to fight the trend. I want to be with the trend. I want to ride the trend. So even if Carnival did pop up above $21 for next week and I had to short those shares, I think we're going to continue to trend in that direction. And if we look at the technicals, we've got sell signals for the week, sell signals for the month. I'm feeling pretty confident about my CCL position because of those things. And then finally, we've got HP, only collected 9 cents on this spread, sold a $29 strike. Was hoping it'd be more than 10 cents because I like that 10% ROI mark. Mm-hmm. But if we look at HPQ, sold that $29 strike. Again, been trending down since February. So this trend isn't as long as been trending down since this must have been what I saw before. Trending down since December. Kind of flattened out a little bit, but then trending down again. So again, a longer term downtrend. It looked like we bounced off of $29 earlier this week. So maybe that's a resistance line at the moment. We'll see. Again, if I have to short these shares, which I will do if the price ends between $29 and $30, that's fine with me. I'm gonna, again, trend is your friend. I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna follow the trend here. And then if we look at the technicals, 1 week, bunch of sell signals, 1 month, bunch of sell signals. That was enough for me. And again, I was targeting dollar spreads. So I'm only putting $300 up in trend spread this week. I might expand that going forward and do like 10 different positions in trend spread at dollar spreads. This is going to be a lot easier to do once these updates to the trend spread are complete. Those updates are currently being tested. Might be able to push them out next week depending how testing goes. But I feel like we always say that. I feel like we're very bad at getting our launch dates right.
Hey, at least we're honest about it. We're just, this ain't easy. This ain't a hobby. Getting this right is important. So, okay, very cool, Thomas.
I'm ready. Moving you guys over here. I'm gonna share my screen in a second.
I like this music.
All right. I like it too, actually. It's a little different.
Whoa, what's this chop?
Yeah. So this play is going to be a bearish play on Procter and Gamble. So PeakBot selling the $172.50 strike price. What I really liked about it was it's kind of acted as support here. It's kind of broken through here, but it kind of comes back and then finds like support line around here. And I know today it's kind of jumped up a little bit, but I'm kind of expecting it to find a little bit more resistance here at this 172.5 with these, unfavorable market conditions to an extent. We just want to make sure that things are a little bit more bearish, and that's kind of what I'm feeling with Procter and Gamble, especially because they're importing and exporting goods. So I don't know how these tariffs are going to affect them too much. So kind of staying bearish on the move here. Even though they are up today, I'm able to get this kind of higher call credit spread strike price, which luckily I was entered into. So that was also really nice rather than, maybe entering in on Wednesday where it's at, Wednesday, Tuesday, where it's 162. You probably enter somewhere around here. You already be blown out. So entering on that Friday at a higher price could be pretty beneficial. Next one that I have, talked about it earlier, gold, GLD, Ben's in the same thing, bullish on gold. So am I.
Actually did. I did triggered GOLD.
Oh, you did GOLD?
Yeah, I did, not GLD, because GOLD is a bit cheaper.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I went for a little bit more expensive on this one, but I like the chart. I like the setup. I'm sure GOLD is probably about the same chart. Yep. I like that it's kind of been, some chop around this 280, broke through it right here on this massive gap up. So I think that this could act as a level of support here if gold were to drop next week, which I don't think it will. I think maybe we'll do a little bit more chop up here like we saw here, maybe drop and kind of rebound, but I don't expect to drop lower than 280, which is why I went for it. Now, the next play that I have up here is going to be BMY, Bristol Myers Squibb. Just looked at on the, not something that I've actually traded in the past, but was looking at it on the watch list, liked the premium, liked the budget, liked everything about it, looked at it on the chart. And what I liked the most was that I sold the 57 strike price, or PeakBot sold it, and it's kind of bounced here and it's shot up and it's kind of broken below it and it shoots up. So there's kind of some level of support. It seems to be like a key area for it. Now, last time the stock dropped, it went down to 58, right here, 58. So I'm thinking that 58 is going to be its next key area, meaning that 57 has a good chance to expire worthless and finish out of the money. So those are going to be my two plays there, or three plays moving into next week.
Excellent. All right, well done. You feel good about it?
Yeah, I feel really good this week, actually. I feel like I might go 3 for 3. I haven't had a 3 for 3 week in a while.
Yeah, man, you were used to that.
I was so used to it.
It shows you though, like you were picking stocks based on a budget that you weren't necessarily able to allocate, right, with your real portfolio. So it hones us in a little bit. I love that we're doing these tight spreads right now, truthfully, for the most part.
Yeah, gold's going to be my rule breaker there, but it used to be a much wider spread. It was like an $8 wide spread. Now it's down to 5. So
I can't stomach those anymore, man. I just can't. I can't like sit here and say over the next 5 days that if anything weird happens, I'm going to lose $800. Like I can't stomach it. All right, very cool. So let's wrap here. I know we've been going for a while. Do we want to take a look at economic events heading into next week really quick?
Let's no, we're running long here. So let's tune in on Monday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. We'll go over the economic events coming up for next week. Yeah, Dylan, why don't you send us out?
All right. Well, just a quick reminder here. Only need another 3 hours until I'm 3 for 3 on my picks this week. So taking home the dub, looks like, knock on wood. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, of course. Yes, please. April 9th, the Future of Trading Summit. Okay, free summit being hosted by Tradier. Yours truly, Ben and I will be chatting we'll be hosting a session. Ben, what is it? 2:15 p.m. Eastern on the 9th, okay, to talk about automated trading and taking emotions out of trading. Rusty, we'll see you Monday then for our Man and Machine episode with myself, Ben, and Mark Phillips, our partner RIA, who's handling your portfolios from a professional licensed standpoint, live Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, we'll see you at the peak. Take care, everybody.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.